Did your team miss the playoffs and you're in need of a team to bandwagon this playoff season? You clicked on the right video. I'm going to give you a reason why you should root for every playoff team this season. So, let's start off with the LA Chargers. This is a team that has always been known for choking in big moments, blowing leads, ill-timed turnovers, whatever it may be. This is a team that has always given pain to their fan base. And so I think it would be really cool to see them completely rewrite the narrative and just finally get over the hump and win that Lombardi trophy. Plus, they have a lot of guys on that team that I really like. I love Justin Herbert. Keenan Allen has been there for a while. He deserves a ring. Derwin James. I think it would be really cool to see that team win a ring. Plus, I think it'd also be really cool if Jim Harbaugh had a Super Bowl ring alongside his brother. As for the Buffalo Bills, look, another team, just like the Chargers, they have they're known for delivering pain to their franchise. Of course, you have 13 seconds, wide right, times two. The list goes on. I mean, you could go on and on about what this franchise has done to their fans. And plus, Josh Allen, he's just a really likable guy. Not having Jackson, Mahomes, or Burrow in the playoffs. Hello, Willie. Not having any of them in the playoffs. Who knows if that's going to happen again. So you can argue this. Okay, Willie. Sure. So you can argue this is probably his best chance at a ring. So why not? Why can't he get it done? I think it'd be cool to see. Okay, bye, Willie. That's my cat. I love him. He's very nice. Anyways, moving along, you have the Houston Texans. And listen, I know people don't really care for defensive games. I know people don't like defense. They love offense. They love points because that makes it more exciting. Me personally, I love good defense. I think, it makes the games feel more intense because all it takes is one play to completely shift the game, whether that's a turnover, a big play downfield. It doesn't even have to be a scoring play for it to matter. And so this Houston team, they have the best defense in terms of points allowed and yardage given up. And they're a really fun team to watch. They really, really are. So, and as I said, they're a likable bunch. D'Amico Ryans, I think, is a great head coach. C.J. Stroud, he can be fun to watch. Nico Collins. And then I haven't even mentioned the defense. Danielle Hunter, who's playing with a chip on his shoulder, not making the Pro Bowl. Will Anderson, Derek Stingley Jr., Lassiter. I mean, the list goes on. This is a very fun team to watch. And if you want the truth, if my favorite team weren't playing them this weekend, they'd probably be the team I would bandwagon throughout the playoffs. But that's just me personally. Speaking of my favorite team, the Pittsburgh Steelers. I know a lot of people don't like the Pittsburgh Steelers, and I get it. I completely understand this fan base annoys me sometimes. However, there are a lot of veterans on this team, i.e. Aaron Rodgers, Jalen Ramsey, TJ Watt, Cam Hayward, DK Metcalf. The list goes on. And all of those guys, I think, personally, either deserve a second ring or deserve one for the first time. Of course, guys like Rodgers and Ramsey, they already have a ring. They won elsewhere. And then you have guys like Cam Hayward, who's been with the franchise for 14 years now, 15, something like that. Watt still hasn't even won a playoff game. And I think it'd be really cool to see veterans like that get a chance at a ring. I think that'd be really cool. Moving along, we've got the third seed in the AFC. We have the Jacksonville Jaguars. This team, this offense is so fun to watch. Liam Cohen he's ignited a spark in that team that I don't think I've ever really seen from Jacksonville before. And all that, I think, just leads to this team being very fun to watch, and their energy is very contagious. And I think that is awesome to watch, and I think that's great for the game of football. So yeah, I would love to see the Jacksonville Jaguars go on a run and make the Super Bowl. I think that'd be great. And, they're a new team. They've also, they've never made a Super Bowl before, so obviously they don't have any rings either. And I think it'd be great to have a first time champion. Same can be said for the Houston Texans. I think that'd be great. I think that would be phenomenal. Moving on, New England Patriots. Why should you bandwagon them? Well, obviously, the 6 Super Bowl rings, not many people want to sign up for that. However, I personally think that this New England team is very fun to watch. It's a completely new group, new head coach, new quarterback, all that jazz. Very fun group to watch. Very young team. Mike Vrabel has become a very likable coach. I think the persona of him when he was with Tennessee was that he was this sort of hard-nosed coach, smash mouth. I think he's definitely become more of player's coach this year, and I think that has been an awesome evolution to watch and see him grow as a coach. I think that's awesome, and I love that. I really do. So, yeah, I think the Patriots are a very fun team. Next up, the Denver Broncos. The Denver Broncos, they've been doubted all season long. They've been called frauds. Oh, this, that, and the other thing. Their offense isn't good enough. Blah, 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 blah. You've heard it all. So I think it'd be really cool if the Broncos could silence doubters, myself included at times. I've been doubtful of the Broncos, but hey, if you're winning games, who cares? I think it'd be cool if they silenced the critics and could go on a run and potentially win the whole thing. I think that would be cool. Next up, we'll move on to the NFC. The Packers, boy, that injury list is it's long. It looks like a grocery list with how many key names are on that list. And we'll get into another one here in a bit. But the Packers, I think it'd be cool if they overcame the adversity. On paper, I don't think they have the best team or anything. I don't think their wide receiver room is anything spectacular. I mean, I like Christian Watson. I think he's been pretty good for them. But I think it'd be cool if they overcame that adversity with all the injuries that they've had, and they won the Super Bowl. I think that'd be really cool. Moving on to another very injured team, 49ers. Like the Packers, their injury list is like a grocery list with how long it is, especially with all the key names they have right now and have had on their list this season. Of course, Brock Purdy missing time. George Kittle missed some time. Brandon Ayuk still hasn't been seen anywhere. Nick Bosa is hurt. Fred Warner is hurt. I mean, all this stuff, man. So, I think it'd be cool if they overcame the adversity. Plus, guys like Christian McCaffrey, I think they really deserve it. Christian McCaffrey is very good at football. He deserves a ring. I think it'd be cool to see Brock Purdy get a ring after being completely cast off for nothing, being, of course, the last overall pick. I think that'd be really cool. Next up, you have the LA Rams. I've always been a Matt Stafford fan. I love Matt Stafford. I've always loved him. I loved him since his days in Detroit. I always thought he was dealt a bad hand. So I think that him going on another Super Bowl run, I think that would put the stamp on his resume and guarantee him a spot in the Hall of Fame. And I think that would be great. On top of that, I know the Rams won a Super Bowl just a few years ago. I think 5 years, 6 years at this point. But I think it'd be really cool for the game of football if Matt Stafford went on another run. Plus, it's a completely different group now. You have Puka Nacua, who wasn't on that roster, Kyron Williams, Jared Verse, and a bunch of others. So many names that were on that team then are not on this team now. And there are a lot of really young players, and I think this is a very likable bunch. Next up, you have the Carolina Panthers. And you know what? Who doesn't love a good underdog story? Panthers coming into this playoffs, they're 8-9. They're not the best team in the league, not even close. And they're probably the worst team in the playoffs, in all honesty. But who doesn't love a good underdog story? If the Panthers could somehow make their way to the Super Bowl, especially given their first round opponent being who it is, I think that would be really awesome to see. The Panthers haven't won a Super Bowl either, so I think that also adds some credibility to their bandwagon chances. Like people wanting to bandwagon the Panthers, I'll certainly be rooting for them. But of course, being the underdog, they have a lot of things going against them. But I would love to see it. Who doesn't love a good underdog story, right? Philadelphia Eagles. Yeah, I don't really have much, but I guess if I had to say something, who doesn't like, who doesn't like making fun of the Cowboys? Seeing their division rival win another Super Bowl. Who doesn't love laughing at the Cowboys, right? I think that'd be fun. But I can't really say much about the Eagles. They just won. Their fan base is toxic. I don't love their coach. There isn't a lot I can really say about this team. I guess if you want me to say something, Jalen Phillips, he's pretty good. He deserves a ring. That's all I got. I'm sorry. I just don't think many people are going to be wanting the bandwagon the Philadelphia Eagles anyways. Next up, we have the Chicago Bears. This is a very young team, an offense that can explode at any moment, a defense that's very opportunistic, and they're probably, what I would say, a year ahead of schedule. And who doesn't, they're, I think, the underdog heading into the Packers game, if I'm not mistaken. And hey, who doesn't like a good underdog, And as I said, they're a likable bunch. Ben Johnson has really turned that franchise around. And I think it'd be pretty cool to see a Bears that isn't solely focused on defense make a run. Because that's what the Bears' identity has been for years and years now, is strong defense. I think it'd be cool, personally. Next up, and last but not least, you have the Seattle Seahawks. And this one, for me, is pretty clear. Who doesn't love a good redemption story? I think that Sam Darnold, he got cast off in New York, then Carolina, was there in San Francisco for a bit. Then he went to Minnesota, had a career year. He goes to Seattle, gets paid, and even still, people still doubt him. And I get it. He's had a lot of turnovers. But I think it would be really cool to see this redemption arc and with a Lombardi trophy. I think that would be awesome. Who doesn't love a good redemption story, right? But anyways, that's a reason why you should bandwagon every team. If you don't have a team in the playoffs, as I said, my pick, if my favorite team weren't playing them this week, I'd probably choose the Houston Texans, personally. They've never made a conference championship. I really like what they have going over there, but that's my opinion. But hopefully, I helped you make that decision a little easier. Don't die.